is honorable and holy and should never be cheapened or entered into unadvisedly. We have every reason to fight for the institution of marriage, just as we must take a stand for everything else in our kingdom. Therefore, the Bible says, shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. Notice there are several areas in the Bible where it speaks of man, woman, and it never gives any other genders.
Amen.
Man leave his father and his mother and cleave, a key word that all of us need to understand when we're entering into marriage or when we become marriage. It's the cleaving that makes the marriage. It's the cleaving that causes a marriage to be what it is. It's not necessarily the kissing and everything else that we think and we enter into a marriage in, but it's what we do when we cleave. And cleave means that you're gonna weather everything, regardless of what it may be. In the good times, in the bad times, in sick times, and times when you understand, and times that you don't understand. That's the cleaving part. You keep on going through, whether you understand. You don't fall out of love because of trouble. You don't fall out of love because of a sickness, or because of an injury, or whatever the person may have. Because if you don't ever see yourself loving that person and staying with the person, even when they lose a body part, or when they're in an accident, or they have a sickness of any sort that may cause them to change physically, mentally, and every other way. If you are not gonna stay with that, you aren't clean.
That's right.
Because under every circumstance of life, save death, you stay with that partner. And that's what too many of us don't understand. The first sign of trouble, the first sign of rain, we ready to pack our little grip and go.
That's right.
When we have our heated argument, that's the time also that we are ready to go. So the cleaving part is what we miss because we think that as long as it's going my way, then I can stay with it. But when things start going the other way, I'm ready to check out. And we are to understand that that was never what God intended us to do. So he ought to look at marriages and blush when he sees the manner in which you are carrying on, or the way that you are cleaving to one another. Now, we, the Church of Jesus Christ, must be careful to uphold and honor our God. In the days ahead, we didn't see this day maybe when we got married, but in the days ahead, you're going to really have marriage ministry. Because this sort is, according to what the world standard is going to become obsolete. And it's going to be left up to you to keep it together. Because as we are seeing now, we're seeing happening today, when we see what's going on, marriage in this style and in this fashion, you see little of it. Because everything imaginable is going on now to desecrate this union. For you're going to see people like two males coming down the aisle. And like you're seeing today, you're going to see females coming, two of them coming down. You're going to see the transgender, you're going to see all of that kind of thing. And you will not see a holy prancing coming in a manner to honor God. Just the other day, I saw on television where it was what is going on and what is happening in this day and time, so that when your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren start to do this, because of having much, then the tendency for even the church will be to be like what they are.
Yes.
Because we are, instead of us allowing them to copy from us, we always go and copy from them. We are the ones that want to do things that where there is no honor to God. Now, I can't see anybody that is a believer wanting to get married and then wanting to go and do all kind of other crazy stuff. You got to keep this in your marriage, because if you don't keep this in your marriage, then you're going to turn and be just like what you see other people doing, and therefore marriage will have no honor, not from the world, nor will it have any honor in the church. So we want to bring this to your attention to let you know, just because you see people doing certain things, it doesn't mean that's what you're supposed to bring in the church.
That's right.
You're not supposed to have a marriage where God is almost asked out of it. He instituted it. He is the one that said that this is what we should do, because we are speaking of what? Him and his church. So how in the world you going to make marriage be anything you want it to be in order to satisfy your desires? And leave God out. And I wanted to make sure that we call attention to this today, to let you know that you need to start understanding what marriage is all about in our kingdom. In our kingdom, what it's all about. And you don't jump up and do what you want to because you see what the world is doing. Do you all understand? Do you understand what I'm talking about? After a while, and you know what will happen when the church is not spiritual minded, we'll sit up and giggle at what we see others doing. When we see two sissies coming down the aisle doing whatever they want to do, the way they want to do, we'll think it's funny. But if you don't understand, this is a holy thing. This is a holy thing to us. And you know what God expects? Us to fight for. Us to take a stand on what is the right thing for us to do. Not join them, but uphold what God has given you to do. And it's very serious, because we're forever changing. You know, the more we see the world doing, the more we want to do it. We don't ever think in terms of your side is the side that displays right and righteousness. And the other side is from the kingdom of darkness.
That's right.
And if you don't understand that, no, they will swallow you up. And you will have no effectiveness. When I say understand marriage in such a way that you don't think about, all we want to think about is what we're going to do when we get in the bedroom. How we going to get
good.
And do you know we got to elevate our mind? When we didn't know any better, we would always be thinking of that. Well, now that you know better, don't you know you ought to elevate your mind above a bedroom and just how you want to kiss and how y'all going to have sex? And you got to elevate your mind. But when in the days of our ignorance, the Bible says God wins. But you're not ignorant anymore because you're being taught the right way. We came into this with a whole lot of outside understanding. We didn't know, they didn't know, nobody knew. But now that we have come and have learned the ways and the things of God, I certainly don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over, and it gets worse and worse. We got to give it a facelift. We got to put it where God intended it to be. Because if we don't, there are those that's going to help you drag it down, and it won't be in need of even doing it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because it won't give God any kind of honor, and it won't have anything to do with what He instituted.
Thank you.